got 8:35, beginning of the winter, and we are here. I'm gonna welcome everybody. And what we've got is a question and answer session from Calibre Home Inspections. So if you have any questions about your house or your inspection, we're here to help. We're an engineer-directed company of 25 years, protecting dreams by inspecting homes. So we're going to keep this question and answer down to 15, 20 minutes, maybe. Might be shorter today if no one shows up. We've got, I just wanted to start with some things on my maintenance tips. So I'd like to just go ahead and start. This is the winter section. We also have on the bottom, we've got what to do monthly. Oh, you know what? What to do monthly, what to do yearly, and every 5 to 10 years. So, I'm going to hit every 5 to 10 years. It's quick. There are a few things, depending on what you have, how your house is designed. So, about every 5 to 10 years, I like to do it in the spring or summer, and that is resealing your deck. Decks usually last about 20 years. You do need to reseal it. No matter what you use, you're still going to reseal it every 5 or 10 years. And periodically, after about 10 years, you start replacing the weak floorboards. Substructure should last a while. And while you're doing that and you're working on your deck a little bit, look underneath, even if it's difficult. Get some eyes and some visibility on that header board that's attached to your house. Make sure that's not rotting and or stained. Shouldn't even be stained at all. The flashing should keep the water off it. And yes, it's boy, I'm going through this list and I'm reminding myself of things I should be doing on my own house. Clean out your septic tank if you got one. In a perfect world, in a perfect situation, in perfect soil, a couple people in a home, normal size 1,000-gallon tank, proper drain fields, you should never really have to clean out your septic tank. We're gonna talk about septic 101 later. And then, of course, if you have any kind of board siding, hardboard or wood or concrete-based wood-looking siding, then it's time to paint the house. The pressboard siding needs a lot more than the concrete-based siding. Of course, I actually went, well, I bet it was about 18 years without painting a certain section of my house once, ever. I just couldn't reach it. I built my own house, so never really gets finished. I'd write a lot of stuff up on my house if I was inspecting it, but it's all painted now. Looks great. But every 5 years, 5 to 10 years, just keep an eye on it. You have to budget for that. That's an expense. Even if you do it yourself, you have a little expense of the paint. But in the winter section of the maintenance tips, we can touch base on those too. Let's see. You probably won't be watering your garden or your lawn or anything, and we're in for some good freezes. So we ought to take the garden hoses off, drain them, and then cover those hose bibs and make sure if you can turn them off inside, and then open it up outside, let it drip out so you don't have any worries about anything freezing. Every once in a while, you have that big nor'easter come down and really give us hard freeze. We had that 2 Christmases ago, and that was broke a lot of water pipes and killed a lot of vegetation. So, so be prepared for that. We already talked about testing your generator. I like to do these maintenance tips in the winter because they're mostly indoors. That is creating a good drain for your water heater. Drain it to the outside, empty it, flush it, get the sediment out from underneath. You might have, it's just good to get that cleared out. Work that valve at the bottom a little bit, make sure that's workable and it's not leaking. And so when you flush your water heater, what I like to do is turn the water heater off. And so the water in the heater actually doesn't heat up anymore. And let it ride. See when people complain in your house, then you know it's time and the water won't be too hot to touch. And you can actually just drain it without any worrying about your garden hose or it should be able to handle it anyway, but I just hate to waste all that energy from heated water. So we might take a shower and have to keep turning the heat up, 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 and then run some laundry. And then you'll be running the hot water out of the water heater. So we'll have a procedure on there, a little video procedure on uh, how to flush and drain your water heater. There's a few little tricks that you need to open some valves. It's good to open those valves and check them anyway. But yes, you're supposed to do this yearly for the best operation of your water heater. Uh, Personally, I don't believe I know anybody that flushes their water heater once a year. I try to do it once a year, but things get in the way, priorities change, and yeah, it'll go another year and then another year. So it's not totally necessary, but if you want proper operation, it's like all those things you can do to maintain your car, or you can just drive it till the wheels fall off. So you can still do that with your own house. It's America. You don't have to fix and maintain your house, but it would help your water heater last longer. It'll help all the other fixtures in your house because there's a grit that gets in the bottom of your water heater, especially if you're on a well system. And it'll be pushed through the system and it'll get caught in the shower valves and other valves. And it is just a big help if you flush it. And what else do we have? Holding tank, if you do have a well, it's time that is really kind of a little bit more necessary. You get a lot of grit build up in the bottom of your holding tank of your well system, and that'll really allow it to operate better, quicker, more efficient, cleaner. And then change water filters if you do have a water filter. If you have a water filter with chemicals to take odors out of the water, then those are usually on a maintenance schedule. But make sure you look at that sediment filter if you're on a well or if you have city water and you want it to catch the any particles that come through the city water. You have this little sediment filter that you can unscrew, and then you just have to make sure you turn off the valves in your right schematic so you can actually take that filter off and clean it. So we might dive in a little deeper to these if we don't have questions. So we've got change the water filter. Check your water softener, and that's a larger filter system that you have. Inspect any gas flue for leaks or rust. Any gas flues that you have on top of your water heater or furnace, just make sure they're still aligned and catching the bad gases. Make sure they're going out. just a quick visual inspection. And then you're looking for any corrosion on there. Make sure the corrosion isn't so bad it actually um, seeps through. The only true way to get a test on that is a gas detector. You can't smell the carbon monoxide gas, but if it is rusty, even if it's in a crawl space, I have heard the carbon monoxide gets into the house and it's really a health concern, health hazard. Um, you have to make sure the water heater vent is stacked directly on top of the water heater. There's little divots in the top of the water heater where it'll line up and you'll be able to tell if it's lined up properly. Um, every once in a while you hear of an elderly person dying from carbon monoxide poisoning, and that's usually from a very, very rusted out vent that even has gaps and sections of it missing, or the vent is disconnected and blowing the carbon monoxide into the house, and you get really tired and lethargic, and one day you just don't wake up. So you don't smell it. Gas is um, dangerous in that respect of the venting. So you just want proper venting of all your gas flues. So that's actually a good breaking point from the tips today. So these are really good winter tips. Um, gone just a few minutes here, about 10 minutes. So we'll just chalk it up to the winter schedule of maintenance tips. And of course, if you have any questions, feel free to contact us. If you need to schedule an inspection, just give our office a call. And we love to help you. We have a contractor referral list. I'm going to touch on that real quick. Some of you may know about it already if you go on our website, calibrehomeinspections.com. Go to resources, and from resources, it is a contractor referral list. These guys, we do not background check at all. They have just done work for us. They were reasonable. They did a good job. They said uh, what they were going to do, and they did it. So that was commendation enough for us. A lot of these are my personal contractors, and people on our team would recommend some people, and I'd put them on the contractor referral list. And then from you guys out there, I would get recommendations from other realtors and clients, and I just put them on the list. If I hear bad things about them, well, they come off. But that's the extent of the checking and background checking and uh, quality checking that I do. So if you have any questions, give us a call. We're looking forward to helping any way we can. Richard Smith, Calibre Home Inspections, inspecting homes, protecting dreams. See you next time.